Hello everyone, welcome back once again to my channel. Today we will be discussing a very beautiful poem which will help you to change your entire perspective in terms of living your life. So let's begin with this video. This video is an explanation of the poem and another video which is part 2 is about poetic appreciation of the poem. This is the poem Have You Earned Your Tomorrow? It consists of 4 stanzas and each stanza has 4 lines. I have highlighted these stanzas in different colors for your easy understanding. These are the first 2 stanzas. These are last 2 stanzas of the poem. So let's begin with the explanation of the poem. But before that, little bit about the poet Edgar Guest. The poet Edgar Guest was born in England and he was brought to the United States when he was 10 years old. He began his writing career in 1895 at the age of 14. Edgar Guest is known as people's poet for his simple style and optimistic tone of writing. Guest is American writer of newspaper and magazine. He published more than 20 volumes of poetry and he was thought to have written over 11,000 poems. So, the poet has also been called the poet of the people. Most often, his poems were of 14 lines long and he presented a deeply sentimental view of everyday life. He considered himself a newspaper man who wrote verses, and about his poems, he said, I take simple everyday things that happen to me and I figure it happens to a lot of other people too, and I make simple rhymes out of them. So we come to know that the poet is a very simple and down-to-earth man, and that's why his poetry is very much appealing to the common man. This poem is an inspirational poem, and in this poem the speaker is asking the readers whether they have done anything to improve the life of another human being or not. So it is up to you whether you will have a better future or not. Therefore, one should consider one's actions and deeds carefully and plan accordingly for a better future. The theme of the poem is earning your tomorrow. The central idea of the poem focuses on the importance of living each day by being kind and helpful towards others by making a small contribution to improve their lives. So, as the good deeds done by us today will earn us our tomorrow. The language of the poem is very simple and straightforward. The use of rhetorical questions by the poet is made especially to convey his ideas and inspire the readers, and it adds different gravity to the poem and there is more unique use of literature. The poet uses a number of poetic devices in this poem like alliteration, antithesis, then interrogation, inversion, metaphor, personification, repetition, tautology, and transferred epithet. The most prominent figure of speech used in the entire poem is interrogation. The poet asks simple questions to the readers and he wants to know from the readers whether they are doing something to contribute in the life of other people, and all these poetic devices serve different impact and earthy sense to the verse and hence enhance its poetic appeal. Let us also discuss about the title of the poem. As we go on reading the poem and understand the depth of the poem, we realize that investment cannot be only in terms of money, property and gold. But true investment can be about our good deeds and actions and being good to others so that people would remember you even after you have left the world. So obviously, to live a good life, we require some materialistic things, but we do need to remember that we have to do something for the society. Living a life for the sake of humanity can help you earn your tomorrow, according to the poet. And I like this idea of poet of earning tomorrow. Hence, the title is so much appropriate that I don't think there could have been any other better title. This is the first stanza of the poem, which begins with two direct questions. All the stanzas contain questions, so obviously the main figure of speech used in this poem is an interrogation, which is present throughout the poem. The poet asks the readers that if they did something good to make others happy, making someone happy in terms of offering any kind of help to mankind or talking to them nicely when you meet them. So, doing good to others is the main theme, main focus of the poem. The poem begins with the first question, that is anybody happier because you passed his way? That means, have you ever tried to make someone's day better with nice conversation so that people can remember you? Or is anyone missing your company just because you are so good? If the answer is yes, then it's your investment for tomorrow. If you have already earned your tomorrow, God is happy over your deeds and actions, and now He has granted you another tomorrow. The poet asks once again that if the conduct of the person with someone has made the other person say kind things about them, at the end of the day, that person should remember you because of your good behavior, because of your good action. Remember students, your actions and good work cannot be only limited to the humanity. But even if you are doing something good for the sake of your Mother Earth, for the survival of your Mother Earth, then also it's a good contribution. Most importantly, you shouldn't be doing all those good things in order to keep it as a record or with an intention to do something good so that something good will happen to you. So you should not do it just because you are doing a favor to someone else, but do it selflessly and you will get good results. Your contribution may be small, but your desire to do it should be persistent. The most important part of these two stanzas are the emphasis on unprompted kindness and the fact that it is now the end of the day. The hours are running out for you to make a positive impact. And as it is end of the day, time is running out, so you should seek God's blessings as early as possible. The poet once again emphasizes his point by asking a question in a different way, like, is there anyone to utter now a kindly word of you? And then he emphasizes once again the importance of healthy relationships. We all know that healthy relationship is very important in everyone's life. So if we need others to treat well, then we must treat others well first. If you are kind to others, you will receive the same behavior from others in return. Students, in our day-to-day life, we come across many such occasions when we have chance to make someone happy. So if we are able to make someone happy, so that can be a wonderful contribution. According to the poet, making someone happy is a very good contribution. It's a very good investment, and that can really help you achieve one more tomorrow. Hope the first stanza is clear to you. Now let's begin with the second stanza, which too has 3 questions in it. Now here poet begins with the first question and he asks the readers if a friend who came face to face was greeted cheerfully or impolitely without bothering to show any concern. The poet wants to know whether you greeted someone wholeheartedly or you tried to ignore him just because you were too busy in your day. Here the poet wants to know that whether the readers greeted their friends cheerfully or instead of greeting them cheerfully, they passed them by churlishly. Churlishly means rudely. And did you have an intention to avoid those people? So the poet wants to know whether you greeted those people cheerfully, happily, or you just vanished in the crowd or disappeared in the crowd so as to avoid those people. Here the poet wants to know if the readers were selfish as they rushed throughout the day. The poet here indirectly suggests that he does not like that selfish behavior. So this behavior is disapproved by the poet, and he asks the reader to recall whether the readers comforted someone and if the person was grateful to them for that gesture. Poet asks whether someone is really grateful for a deed you did today. However, it doesn't actually matter how great that work was. Maybe a small deed, a small work, but you did the job at the right time and made the person feel grateful towards you is highly important. So, the ultimate thing is that be kind towards the other human beings, be selfless, and always lend a helping hand towards others so that you build your good image in the society and people miss you in your absence. Well, in the third stanza, the poet asks the readers if they were kind at least to one single person whom they met that day. At least one person was given joy, made happy because of their actions and deeds. He wants to know whether any hopeless man was encouraged to lead a better future. Here, the poet wants to know if the readers have provided any help to a single brother. Here, brother doesn't mean a real brother, but any human being. It is enough for the poet if you were kind to one person out of the many that you passed. An action like this would be sufficient to earn your tomorrow. The poet asks if there is one single heart that is now rejoicing due to your actions. Is there anyone so happy and excited as you motivated that person or inspired him? Now once again the poet is asking the readers, is there anyone who has found a ray of hope because of you? Have you given meaning to someone else's life? Have you ever inspired and motivated to anyone who felt discouraged due to failure? Have you ever offered a helping hand to someone who is hopeless and helpless? In the last stanza, the poet wants to know how the entire day was spent. At the end of the day, when you lie on the bed for a good night's sleep, you should feel relaxed and not restless. So all that depends on your behavior and conduct. If you behaved well in the entire day, you would be satisfied, and if you have done something wrong, obviously you might feel guilty and restless for your wrong actions or wrong deeds. Here the poet wants to know once again how your day was spent. So he asks his readers if the day was wasted or lost or spent unhappily without improving the lives of others. He wants the readers to reflect upon their negative actions. So if there was kindness shown to others, definitely it will urge these people to repeat the action to others. So this will begin in creating a kindness chain, a kindness cycle throughout the world. Did you spend a quality time with someone and made someone happy? If you haven't done anything prominent in your day, that means you have wasted your day. Here, once again, the poet interrogates by asking different questions like, were you kind enough to raise your impression in the eyes of others? Are you remembered for your kindness? Have you expressed your kindness towards others and made them feel comfortable? Well, did you make someone's day? Did you ever share your happiness with someone else? Or did you hurt someone today, whether physically or emotionally? So analyze your day. Try to remember how did you behave in the society and with your friends and with your colleagues. Or being the boss, did you shout at someone or insulted others who are less superior than you? As you close your eyes in the bed at the end of the day, you should have that sense of satisfaction that you have done something good for others and thus earned your points in the form of tomorrow. So you should never feel restless due to any reason. When you do a good job, God assures you your tomorrow. So doing good deeds is your investment and asset. You should keep adding into it. So, without any expectations, keep up your good work and get an assured better tomorrow. So, tomorrow could be yours if you are investing in today. The good that is done today definitely earns us our tomorrow. The good work we do today assures us hopeful future. Always remember what you do today creates better tomorrow and bright future. So don't waste your today. So here we come to an end of the poem with the speaker reminding the readers that it is up to the God whether or not you have a tomorrow. Therefore, one should consider their actions carefully if they want to see the next day. Students, here begins the list of figures of speech which are mentioned in the poem. I have given you all the figures of speech here along with the explanation. So I want you to read each and every figure of speech and their explanations as well. Students, here we come to an end of the poem. Hope you liked the poem and understood its meaning as well. So see you soon in the next video of Poetic Appreciation. Bye for now.